Think about how your phone processes signals, or even the rich sound of a symphony. We're talking about the Fourier series. Now, it's a powerful mathematical idea, and yeah, at first glance, it might seem pretty abstract. But we're going to explore how it becomes surprisingly tangible, almost, dare I say, intuitive, thanks to this really incredible interactive simulation we found.
And that's exactly why it's worth digging into, right? In a world just full of information, sometimes too much information, the Fourier series offers this really profound tool. It's about deconstructing what feels like overwhelming complexity into simple, understandable components. Gives you a clearer lens to view a very noisy world.
Exactly. So our mission today is to demystify some of that elegance. We're doing a deep dive into the Fourier Series Interactive Simulation and Explorer over at BioniChaos.com. Our goal really is to unravel how this brilliant tool takes a concept that can feel academic and makes it vibrantly real. It lets you visually grasp time domain signals, their frequency components, and these kind of mesmerizing visuals called epicycles.
Yes, the epicycles. That's essentially how you see those simple sine waves combining step by step to create the final signal. It's quite something.
It really is. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. For those maybe familiar or needing a refresher, what exactly is the Fourier series at its core?
Well, the fundamental idea, the really profound assertion, is that any complex repeating signal, anything periodic, can be built, or you could say deconstructed, using just a combination of simple sine waves, nothing more.
Which is kind of mind-blowing when you first encounter it, that hidden order in things that seem chaotic. Right. And as you remember, each of those individual sine waves in the sum, it's defined by three key things. You've got its specific frequency, that's how quickly it wiggles, basically. Then its amplitude, how strong it is, its intensity, and finally, its phase, which is just its starting point in the cycle, its offset.
And what's really illuminating, I think, is how this seemingly straightforward idea can describe such immense complexity. The source material we looked at uses this great analogy. Think of the final intricate waveform, maybe a sound wave, as a finished dish.
Okay, like a recipe.
Exactly. The individual sine waves are the ingredients. Each ingredient has a specific amount that's its amplitude and a particular type that's its frequency. It's this surprisingly elegant recipe for constructing almost any repeating pattern you can imagine.
That's a great way to put it. And this interactive simulation from BioniChaos.com, well, that's what truly brings this concept to life. It doesn't just tell you about the theory, it actually lets you see it and even hear it happening.
Yeah, it's not just reading the recipe. You're watching the ingredients mix. You see the dish being prepared right there.
Which is just so powerful for learning, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When you're grappling with these, abstract mathematical ideas, visualization is often the fastest way to really get it. It cuts through a lot of the mental noise, helps you connect the dots much faster, which, let's face it, is key to absorbing a new knowledge without just feeling totally overwhelmed.
Definitely. So let's walk through it. How do you, the listener, use this simulation to explore these ideas? When you land on the BioniChaos.com page for this, you'll see a collection of presets right there on the left. These are pre-built signals you can just load instantly. You can select classic waveforms, things like the square wave, the sawtooth, the triangle, and it's genuinely, astonishing to watch how these sharp geometric shapes, with their sudden jumps,
Yeah, really abrupt change.
are built entirely from smooth, continuous sine waves.
Yeah.
That's the insight, right?
Yeah.
Even something seemingly unnatural like a square wave used in computing.
Is fundamentally just a symphony of smooth, natural sine waves added together.
It shows how things that seemed really different, like music and digital signals, are actually built from the same mathematical language. It's pretty cool. And beyond those classics, you can explore musical phenomena. There's beats, which is great. It visualizes the interference when you have two frequencies really close together. You see that wavering pattern.
And you can hear it too, that wah-wah sound.
Exactly. Or you can select three-tone chord and literally see and hear a simple musical chord being built from its parts. And if you want to see how richer sounds, richer timbres are formed, you can check out complex tone or 2 hertz plus 3 hertz. Shows more complex combinations. Now, the interactive controls are also really powerful. There's this drawing speed slider.
Ah, that's a key one.
It really is. It directly controls the passage of time in the simulation. So if you drag it slowly, you can really watch those rotating vectors. We'll get to those, build up the final shape bit by bit. Or if you just want to sit back, hit Auto Demo. It'll cycle through the waveforms for you, animating everything.
Kind of like a guided tour.
Right. But for that real aha moment, I think experimenting with the audio toggle is just incredibly illuminating. This lets you hear the signal you're seeing.
Yeah.
Each frequency component gets mapped to an audible pitch, and its amplitude determines the volume. It directly connects the math, the visual, to the sound we actually perceive.
That audio toggle, it really bridges the gap, doesn't it, between the abstract math and something, well, tangible, something you experience directly. It turns what could just be a visual exercise into something sensory. So thinking about that connection, what's maybe a surprising real-world thing that this clarifies for you?
Well, for me, it really drives home that when you listen to, say, a musical instrument, the richness or the timbre isn't some kind of, magical quality. It's
Yeah.
literally just a specific blend of simple sine wave overtones stacked on top of the fundamental frequency.
The recipe again.
Exactly. Hearing a square wave being built, realizing how harsh and buzzy it sounds, yet knowing it's just made of smooth sines. It really makes you think.
How often do we hear complex sounds without realizing they're just these combinations of simple underlying waves?
Precisely. It's like hearing the recipe come to life. Okay, now let's dive into the core of how this tool creates those moments, those insights. It's got these three interconnected panes, right?
Yes, three main windows or views.
And each gives you a different perspective, but they all work together, showing the same information, just differently.
Precisely, yeah.
So at the top, you've got the big one, the time domain pane. This is probably the view most people are familiar with. It just plots the signal's final amplitude, its strength, up and down against time, moving left to right. And there's a little white dot that traces the signal's value as it's being generated. Standard waveform view, basically.
Pretty straightforward.
Then below that, bottom left, is the Epicycles pane. Now this, for me anyway, is the real heart of the simulation.
I agree. That's where the magic happens visually.
It is. You see the Fourier series dynamically at work.
Yeah.
What you're looking at is a series of rotating arrows. The term is phasors.
Right, like little spinning clock hands.
Kind of. And they're chained together head to tail, starting from a center point. Each one of those arrows represents a single sine wave component from the recipe. Its length tells you its amplitude, how strong that component is.
Longer arrow, louder component.
Exactly. And its speed of rotation tells you its frequency. Faster spin, higher pitch.
Makes sense.
And the truly cool part is how the tip of the very last phasor in the chain traces out the entire waveform in real time. What it draws perfectly matches the graph in the time domain pane above it.
It visually performs the addition of all those rotating sine waves.
Yep. And then finally, bottom right, you have the frequency domain pane. Think of this as the static view, the signal's recipe card, or its spectrum.
The list of ingredients.
The perfect analogy. The horizontal axis here is frequency low to high. The vertical axis is amplitude weak to strong. Each bar you see standing up in this pane represents one single sine wave component needed to build the signal.
And the taller the bar.
The more that specific frequency contributes, the stronger that ingredient is in the final mix.
So if we really connect these three, they're not just separate displays. As you said, they are this unified dynamic system. It's quite elegant. The frequency domain gives you that list. Frequencies, amplitudes, static.
The recipe.
The recipe. Then the Epicycles pane takes that recipe and brings it to life. It dynamically sums those components as rotating vectors. You see the process of creation.
You watch the dish being made.
Exactly. And then the vertical position and the final point in that epicycle chain, when you plot that over time, well, that creates the exact graph you see in the time domain.
Boom. The finished waveform.
It's a complete circle. From ingredients to mixing to the final result, it really offers this profound sense of clarity about how it all works together.
It's just an incredibly clever piece of visualization.
Yeah.
And it's exciting that it's apparently an ongoing project. The creators mentioned possible future updates that could, deepen the understanding even more.
Oh, like what?
Well, imagine being able to just draw your own custom waveform right on the screen.
Wow.
And then have the simulation instantly compute its Fourier series, show you the epicycles and the frequency spectrum for your drawing.
That would be fantastic. A real sandbox.
Totally. And they're also thinking about more advanced controls, letting you tweak phase, amplitude, frequency directly, plus maybe adding more educational content, even the math derivations for those who want to go deeper.
Yeah. Those features, especially the drawing part, hold immense potential. Being able to directly manipulate things and instantly see the graphical and the audible results, that would turn it into an even more powerful interactive lab for just exploring and discovery.
For sure. So wrapping things up, we've taken a deep dive today into the Fourier series. We've revisited how this fundamental mathematical idea lets us deconstruct really complex signals, sounds, images, electrical currents, whatever, into their basic, simple sine wave part.
They're building blocks.
They're building blocks, exactly. And crucially, we've seen how this simulation from BioniChaos.com makes that whole abstract idea incredible, accessible, visual, and even audible. We hope this deep dive has maybe offered some new perspectives or perhaps strengthened your understanding of this really fascinating and fundamental concept.
And maybe, just to leave you with a final thought to mull over, consider how many other seemingly complex things in our world, maybe beyond just sound or signals, might also be broken down into simpler fundamental components. If only we had the right lens or the right recipe to view them through. This kind of thinking, breaking down complexity into its building blocks, it's a powerful tool that you can apply in so many areas, really.
That's a great point. It really makes you wonder about the hidden recipes everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We definitely encourage you, head over to BioniChaos.com, find the Fourier Series simulation, and just play with it. Explore it for yourselves. See what connections you make, what insights click for you.
Yeah, there is a human in the loop. Just if you were wondering, or if you have any questions, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, subscribe, unsubscribe. You know what to do. Do you know what to do? Or you can ask Robot